Good morning, YouTube. This morning we're going to continue to talk about how to 10x your results, specifically related to investing, wealth building, growth, your own personal growth, and getting to the results that you want. And if you remember last time, we talked about thinking that was not empowering you, restrictive thinking. And some of that restrictive thinking is things like, I know how to invest. Taxes are very important. I should make a leap. I should go out and just start that business, quit my job and start the business. You should never quit the job and start your business. You should start the business and have the job. Now, is it hard? Yeah. But the business should grow to the point that you have to quit your job to keep going in the business, which is already making money, which is already helping you provide for your family. And so, those type of things can be, limiting beliefs. But today, I wanted to talk specifically about acquisition of skills and how to perceive skills. So, in the context of our 10x results, in the context of action we can take for 10x results, we have two lines right here under action talking about acquiring skills and discovery of skills. And so we're going to talk about those today. And those are two things that helps you, inspire you, and helps you to specific action. This is not theoretical. This is not, hey, maybe you could do this to change your life. This is actual things that you can do now, tangible results. So one skill I acquired was the skill of expanding my comfort zone. Now, your comfort zone is the set of things that you are comfortable doing. Some people are comfortable with starting a business. Some people are comfortable with investing in stocks. Some people are comfortable with investing in bonds. Some people are comfortable spending all of their money. And so, one skill set I acquired was that. And the way I acquired that was by not systematic. I'm a very systematic person, but systematic can be a limiting factor, and when it is, you should stop being systematic. And so I read a book called The 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss, and he talked about expanding your comfort zone and how to do it. I was kind of fumbling through it at work a little bit, and he talked about laying on the floor for 5 minutes and don't explain it to anybody where you're laying on the floor. Now, when you do these skill acquisition steps, you have to do them exactly how the people say. If you don't, then you're going to be like, oh, this doesn't mean anything. You're going to do 3 of the 4 things they say, and it's not going to have any effect for you. And you're just, oh, they're wrong. Well, they're not wrong. You're just bad at it. So do it exactly how people say on the acquisition of skills. And so I did that. I felt this uncomfortableness. I didn't explain to anyone when I was laying on the floor. It was a very weird experience. And so at that point, I started doing things, systematically, random things to expand my comfort zone. And that had a real lasting effect. That was a huge transition for me in how I presented things. So skill acquisition is number one. And I put skill acquisition on this list before discovering skills because people might be systematically very good at making a list. This is not making a list. This is about grading yourself on the acquisition. If you make a list, you acquire 0 skills. If the first thing you do is acquire a random skill, you now have acquired a skill, you've actually taken an action, and now we can go back and make a list. Oh, we got 1 on the list. What other skills are there that we're missing? Can we be systematic about our acquisition process? And so making the list should be a process in itself. There's several ways to make a list. Think about it this way. Have you ever seen a leader? Of course you have, right? What skills do they have? Or do you think they were just born that way? And so if you want to understand the skills of somebody that really attracts people to come do business with them, to want to be on their team, to want them involved, there's a book called How to Raise Your Salary. The way I discovered this book was first I read all the money magazines, then I read all the current money books, then I read all the books that those books reference, and I got down to some core books, which are in the link below, such as Richest Man in Babylon, Think and Grow Rich. And then I looked at what those books were referencing. And in the references of some of those books is a secret book written by Napoleon Hill, who wrote Think and Grow Rich later, who said the only thing to fear is fear itself, because he was the speechwriter of the person who said that. And he wrote a book called How to Raise Your Salary, which takes the time to break down into like 12 chapters exactly these skills that a person like that has, so that you can go read a chapter, work on acquiring that skill, work on understanding what that means, how you can use that, and so that's one aspect of discovering skills. Now, I'm sure none of you have went out and tried to discover skills. Now, your jobs told you about skills they want you to acquire, your school had you take classes on skills, but none of this was focused on you becoming wealthy. Your teachers weren't wealthy, and your bosses at work are generally not wealthy. They can't teach you how to 10x your results because they do not know how to 10x the results. And maybe a lot of mine came from happening into the 4-hour work week, or How to Raise Your Salary, or a little bit about this systematic approach of reading the references for books, right? Writing them down, looking at someone like Tony Robbins and saying, okay, how did Tony Robbins, what did he actually do? Who was his mentor, which was Jim Rohn, and then looking at Jim Rohn and saying, what does Jim Rohn actually do? Who was his mentor? And then looking at that guy and saying, what does he do? Who was his mentor? And kind of tracking it down to this core set of beliefs, knowledge, and actions that are not doing what those people said to do, but doing what they actually did. And so, Tony Robbins may say he invests in all this kinds like this, but what he did was listen to Jim Rohn's tapes as a janitor and do what Jim Rohn did. And so that was kind of his path. So I wanted to make sure I took time today, even if it's brief, to talk about skill acquisition, specifically, the 4-hour work week, how I acquired that, understanding that systematic skill acquisition can be good, but also just random skill acquisition can open up avenues of thinking and expansion in what you can do that other people, don't have access to, because there might be no leap between step 1 and step 4. You may just have to, kind of acquire a skill that you don't value. So an example of that is, Steve Jobs worked on calligraphy, which is about writing styles and the beauty of writing and those type of things. And that was one aspect that he credits for the fonts and the differences in the Apple OS versus the previous operating systems, was those skills. And he just acquired that randomly because he enjoyed it by going to the class. So random skill acquisition can be very valuable. And I don't want you to miss that this random skill acquisition, that this list of skills, that this discovery process is part of actions that we're taking to 10x our investing results, which is based on some beliefs that we have and some outcome that we're expecting as far as what we believe and how we go about things and the actions that we do. And these make us different than other people. And then those are also beliefs based on us not believing like other people do, and restrictive thinking, and instead transforming our thinking into a way that we think about things that empowers us to do the things that other people cannot do, that's not prohibited, that's not allowed for them to do. And that is kind of the system. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and like and subscribe. Hey, tell me something that you did. Tell me something that you read, a skill maybe that you acquired. Approach this just like you would approach, a whole college degree, as if it's for acquisition of thinking, action, and bettering your life in a very transformative way. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you later.